Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Comfort Level Podcast. I'm Maddie, and I'm here with...
Brandon.
Anthony.
Steph.
Last time you guys were here, I think we talked about, like, random stuff, and we're going to continue to talk about random stuff.
Okay, perfect.
So,
I can do random stuff.
No, like I am random.
that's what I'm talking about. We should probably look away from each other.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you gotta look at me.
Who are you talking to?
You.
Oh.
We're just gonna fast forward.
Oh, fast forward. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, sorry
I
for
like
that.
what we're doing here.
Yeah.
You know, we have the rewind.
There you go.
And that fast forward.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
We're some fast forwarders.
This, yeah.
Forward thinkers.
Hey.
Yeah.
You got the first story?
Yeah. Okay, so here it is.
Sorry.
Are you ready, Steph?
No, I'm not ready.
Why was that rub so comforting?
No, I literally wasn't it. I literally felt it. I felt it.
I saw it. I was just like, why are you rubbing me right now? Like, no, I'm good.
All right, cool. All right,
I don't need to be comforted.
No,
I'm comfortable.
No, you comfortable?
Comfort level.
Level.
What's our comfort level?
Podcast.
My comfort level is definitely podcast, always.
Wait, so
Comfort
let's-
level 8, I'd say. I'm comfort level 8 today.
8.
I'm chilling. On a
me
scale of 1 to 10, how comfortable are you?
Let me see. Let me lean back.
I'm a
I'm down
comfort
to a
level
5.
3.
Yeah, that was probably a
I'm down to
2.
a
I'm at
five.
a 2. I'm at an
Yeah.
easy 2.
Steph?
Well,
God
before
dang
he
it.
did that, I was probably at like a 5 because this jacket's cool, but it's not the most comfortable.
Oh, okay.
But after
Okay.
he did that, you was at an 8,
I was at an
and
M.
you're now at a 5.
I'm like 6 now. It's going back
Okay,
up a
so
little bit.
I'm
Okay.
down to like 2.
No, I ruined
You
it.
going into well,
No, that was-
you went down 3. I gotta go down 3.
No, I guess
okay.
that was facts. That was facts.
But now I'm going.
But we
I'm
can
at
bring it
2
back
or
up.
3.
We can just rewind. Look.
Wait, if we rewind, that means he's gonna knock it over again, and we're just gonna be at square one. We gotta fast forward. Okay.
Would I be the asshole if I turned in a group of doctors that initially refused to treat me for a life-threatening illness because they refused to believe that it was possible for me to have it?
No, you're not the asshole.
I don't think so either.
Lock him up.
No. Put them doctors in the jail cell.
Lock them up.
Doctors with borders.
Yes.
The jail borders.
No, like them doctors can. They don't want to help keep us alive. Them doctors can die too.
But if they're doctors with borders, they're not doctors anymore at that point.
Yeah,
They might be in there. Who
they're
knows?
doctor murderers.
Okay. I feel like if I were a doctor and I wasn't like busy out the wazoo, I would be like, if somebody wants to come get seen, I'll come take a look at them, even if I don't believe what they got is real.
Okay. Would I be the asshole if I turned in a group of doctors that initially refused to treat me for a life-threatening illness because they refused to believe it was possible for me to have it? Okay, so for some context, I'm a disabled military vet from my time spent overseas. 36 years old, female. I rely on the treatment from the VA systems for my healthcare, which in my personal experience has always been wonderful in my area. A few weeks ago, I was rushed to the ER with what was the worst head pain I've ever felt, and it had come on in an instant. CT ended up being clear, and it was diagnosed as a migraine. The next day is when hell started for me. Enter 2 weeks of near constant agonizing pain, a severely swollen left temple, bad jaw pain, my vision in my left eye was getting worse / seeing double, and there were other symptoms stacked on top of these. I had been requesting to be seen immediately by my GP. I have most of these requests backed up in email, and I was blown off. I had a strong hunch at what was wrong with me, even though, according to the wise Dr. Google, I was not supposed to get temporal arthritis until at least age 50. I just wanted to be taken seriously because I know my body and I feel I have a good grasp on my personal pain levels because of injuries I have suffered in the military, and this was the worst pain I've ever experienced by leaps and bounds.
Dang.
And it never relented. Finally, my GP saw me and instantly changed her tune. To start treatment, I was to get a biopsy of my left temporal artery. The ENT doctor called me to set the appointment up, only he wouldn't. He told me I had an actual 0 chance of having this, and I was wasting mine and theirs if I came because I was too young. He made it clear that he was not entertaining the idea of seeing me at all and ended the phone call. It took another 24 hours of fight/email and phone calls and being treated like crap to get the biopsy to set up for the following morning. Hey, guess what? I freaking have it. I'm being treated for it, but I have suffered permanent vision loss in my left eye because of the delay of treatment. Let alone what else, because I haven't even been fully informed on the extent of this disease yet. I want accountability. I want this drastic mistake to be learned from and other people not to suffer my same type of treatment. Only people around me are telling my anger is too much. That I would be the asshole if I went after doctors' careers. Really? Looking for judgment so I can make sense of all this and make a decision. And oh yeah, I would have died as a result of this remaining untreated, and it could have happened at any time. So that's what people are basing their opinion on. You didn't die, they ended up saving your life. It could have been worse. Thoughts?
Dude, that's a no-brainer. Report them doctors.
Yeah.
I stand by that. That's a hill I'm dying on.
Yeah, I would down that hill. It's me or them. And I'm selfish.
No. Shit.
Let me chime in a little bit. So, being a veteran myself, I've heard horror stories of the VA. Never been there. Well, never been there to get treated. But they're like the type of people, and like if you notice in the story, they said my experience with the VA has been good in my area. Mm-hmm. They said that because there's so many horror stories where it's like, oh, they messed up. They gave you the wrong medicine. They lost your medicine. They gave you the wrong treatments. Like they would literally do stuff that's just so bad. It's like, how do you even call yourself doctors or any sort of medical professionals when all these things that y'all do is just so bad? So when you said like, I was in the VA hospital, I was like, oh, never mind. That's this whole story. I understand it entirely already because they're just so notoriously bad for ruining everything. Mm-hmm. So I'm honestly not surprised by this. It's sad, but that's absolutely report that because they will get in trouble.
So there's an update. And it's basically like a whole another story. So this is going to count for our second story. A lot has happened since my original post, and I've come to some realizations and also some life-changing things that I'm happy with the results. First, let me say the initial head pain has been gone since I got treatment for it. Although we stopped the treatment after a short time and the pain did not return, I've had some flare-ups, but with most, I feel a lot of stress reduction changes have had the most impact on this positive outcome. I was approached soon after this about doing a national story, and I was intrigued at first, I'll admit, but then changed my mind as I felt I didn't even understand the full scope of what had happened. In situations like these, I'm left wondering, is there really a good guy or a bad guy here at all? When we're in pain and we're scared, we rightfully want answers, but there just sometimes aren't any. Or at least none that you're getting. Our current medical system kneecaps both patients and doctors. It's designed in a way that keeps both parties at each other's throats, one never really trusting the other, both blaming each other for their problems. When our very culture fosters a discourse that seems to get the most attention when dysfunction and broken communication are the key elements. No freaking wonder we feel most of the time we're screaming into the void with no answers. Because of the arterial biopsy, I have what I can only assume is some pretty fucked up nerves on the left side of my head now. The actual site of the incision lights up like an electric Christmas tree anytime anything even brushes it, sending lightning forks of fire, electric pain, tingles across my skull, which is a little unfortunate because I wear glasses, lol. Wow. The vision in my left eye is messed up. As far as holding people accountable and making changes, I feel I'm meeting these goals just in different ways than I saw at first. I've met so many people that needed help advocating for themselves and feeling unheard. I've also talked to many in the healthcare profession that feel unappreciated and given less credit than a 5-minute search on Google. While I don't have any magical plan to suddenly fix all these problems, I can say at least for now that I am putting in a lot more effort to communicate with my healthcare staff and just people in general, I'd say. Good communication takes more time, but can get you better results and ends up saving yourself time and hassle in the long run.
I wonder why she didn't take the story though.
Yeah. Well, she said because she wasn't sure entirely of what happened. Mm-hmm.
True. I guess not knowing the full context of something, but it's like it's still your story.
Yeah.
You know exactly what happened for you.
I still feel like And like I said, this is depending on if you, well, okay. So what she said was like the doctor was supposed to accept her and have someone set up the appointment, and the EMT didn't want to set up the appointment, right? Mm-hmm. I feel like in that situation where it's like, hey, the doctor told me to set up an appointment. Nah, can't do it. This isn't really happening. It's like, that doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. If I'm telling you I got all these symptoms, then it's like, all right, we'll see you. Even if I don't think that anything's gonna come out of it, it's like, bring them in, because whether you think it's life-threatening or not, you're like, oh, well, I guess they have some symptoms. Even if you're like, all right, well, I'll set you to a later date than maybe what I should, at least still try to bring them in, not be like, no, it's not real. I'm not gonna set you an appointment at all. So I was like, in that sense, I get where she was like, oh yeah, you know, the two different sides are fighting against each other. But at the same time, it's like, that's not even fighting. That's just like, no, I'm not gonna help you, like, at all, because I don't think what you're going through is real.
I feel like I've heard stories before, and this is completely hearsay, but of like them being like, oh, we don't know what you have, so we're gonna run all these tests on you, and then we're gonna send you that bill. Because it doesn't matter to us, because we'll charge you no matter what.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I have two. So, one, am I the asshole for pretending to not know my grandparents? Or, two, am I the asshole for not wanting to house my pregnant sister anymore? Number two. We should do number two, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what you're guys'
Kicking your pregnant sister out?
What did she do? That's my question.
I started thinking to myself, like, man, what did she do to make it that mad?
Dang.
So I'm gonna assume pregnant sister. She already got like 2-3 kids. Then she got pregnant again. And as we said, they ain't cheap when they come out. So that's why she has to live with them. But also they ain't cheap after they come out, because they need food.
They're not cheap.
They need clothes. So I was just like, she probably got too many kids, or she got something where she's like, all right, listen, you knew that you could have avoided being pregnant.
Yeah.
On top of all this stuff, not having money.
I kind of feel like she's just going to be like low-key really mean.
Or that.
I feel like entitled. Like,
Or
Yeah, I was gonna say she
yeah.
probably entitled.
I'm living here, but you need to help with this baby.
and
My
you
assumption is mean and entitled.
I would assume it's like because when you're pregnant, you can't work.
Well,
So
you could, but up to a certain point, yeah.
Yeah. Isn't it like 6 months in, and then afterwards you can't, or is it? Yeah.
Hey, man, your guess
You're
is
right.
as good as
No,
mine.
no,
I
you're
think it
seriously
depends
right.
on the person too, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Well, she's entitled. She's not working, so she can't pay anything.
Yeah.
Wait, what did I do?
She's entitled. She's not working. It's like, we don't know that yet.
Oh no! I'm assuming. These are my assumptions.
Okay,
These are my
yeah.
assumptions. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, she gotta go. No, I'll play. That's childish. That's childish.
Freeloader.
So, where you about to sleep?
Where your kid played his head?
Okay. Where your kid putting his head? That's crazy.
Yeah, that's childish. That's childish.
No, childless.
Wow.
That's what this house is about
That's
to
childish.
be. This is gonna be a childless house.
This house
Get
is
out.
childish.
Am I the asshole for not wanting to house my pregnant sister anymore? I am absolutely furious about this right now. My sister is 19 and 4 months pregnant. Father bailed and kicked her out of his place as soon as she told him and my parents living on the other side of the country. She goes to school here in our state, so she doesn't want to move back to our tiny little town. Since she doesn't have a place to stay, my wife and I offered to let her live with us until after the baby got here. It wasn't ideal, but we have the room and the money to let it happen. First thing I told my sister was when she came here, whatever you need, tell me and I'll help you. We still have all of our baby furniture, toys, clothes from when our son was born in our garage and in good condition. It's barely been over 2 months, and on the first week, my wife was complaining because she couldn't find her earrings. Didn't think anything. Stuff like that is easy to lose sometimes. But then it started to add up. First her earrings, then one of my watches, a necklace, a pair of new shoes that we bought for our son, some of my wife's jewelry, my class ring. All of this stuff was going missing, and it didn't click for me until I noted a few missing $20 bills from my wallet. At first I thought maybe it was my son, but honestly, the kid's 7 and still too honest. He cried once after he took an extra donut from the table and confessed immediately, so I doubted he was the culprit. I confronted my sister, and it took a lot of grilling before she fessed up. Her defense was that she wanted to make a little extra cash on the side for the baby. I was so furious with her. After telling her to come to me for anything that she needs with the baby, she resorted to going behind my back and stealing from my family. I explained just how wrong she was to do this after she had a roof over her head, food, and being told to come with us with whatever she would ever need. She apologized many times, but I told her she was going to have to pack her bags and leave. I'll give her 2 weeks to find a new place, but she better be gone by then. That just upset my sister more. She begged me to give her a second chance, but I feel like the trust has been broken. She wanted to stay here to continue school, and she'll have to find a way to support herself. If she can't, then she can move back with our parents. Speaking of parents, they've been on top of me for the last few days over this, and saying I just can't kick her out when she has a child on the way. I've explained what she was doing, however, they still think I'm wrong and need to give her another chance. The issue is, how will I know she won't be more sneaky about it? It's just a risk I'm not willing to take, and my wife is just as upset as I am. This hasn't stopped my parents from berating me all the time over our choice, and now I'm not sure if I'm being the asshole and I should give her a second chance.
Let me chime in on this. So, y'all know me. Especially, I've talked to Brandon about it a few times. This story to me is about trust. Mm-hmm. If you violate my trust and you lose my trust, you lose everything from me. So, you put yourself in a situation, you got pregnant with your mans or whatever, he leaves you. All right, cool. I give you a roof and somewhere to stay. That's some trust right there. Your family, I got you. Mm-hmm. But then you start stealing stuff, and I'm like, all right, I don't know what's gonna go missing next. You lost my trust because I reached out to you and gave you what you needed in a time of need, and you just being greedy at this point. So I'm like, your life decisions got you pregnant. I helped you out by getting you in the house. Your life decisions got you kicked out of my house. Ain't nobody told you how to do all that. You're doing it because you wanted to or because you wanted the extra money or whatever. It's like, all right, if you want to do that, you can do it somewhere else. Now, I can understand it's like, all right, she's pregnant. She needs help, whatever. It's like, there is plenty of places for you to go.
There's plenty of places that's going to help you.
It's not going to be this house anymore.
Right, it's not going to be this house. There's plenty of, if you're homeless, there's homeless shelters you can go to if you want to live there, if you need to get on your feet. There is so many other places where you could go because of your life decisions that you did to put you in this situation. But I'm not going to be the person who's bearing all of this trouble because you decided to do things. Especially when you broke my trust.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah. I don't know why my first reaction to that is the word ruthless, but I genuinely think that's how I would be in that situation too. Because I'm like, I can't feel bad for the decisions that you made to make me not trust you anymore, especially when he literally said, just tell me what you need and we will get it for you. There is not a want in the world that we are potentially saying no to. You just have to communicate and tell us that you want that. And the fact that they even were like, not even suspecting her, like in the beginning, they're like, all this stuff has gone missing for like however knows long. And we genuinely don't think it's her.
Yeah.
And then finally they're like, all right.
And it took her a while to confess.
Yeah,
That means they were pestering her.
Yeah, she wouldn't even admit it at first.
No, that just made me mad again. Yeah.
And she took the class ring, which is something that's like a personal item too.
Yeah.
Like if it was just like, oh, it's just some earrings, like, all right, you know, I could still be upset. Like the class ring, that's like a one-time thing. You ain't gonna get that back.
That's very true.
And just that invasion of privacy, knowing somebody's been going through all your personal stuff, figuring out what they want. It's like, and it's fun out it's family. Because you're going to have to see her in the future. It's just like...
Is the car next?
Wow, yeah.
At this point.
Yeah.
I think it's... they're not tough love, but they are tough love sometimes. But I was trying to imagine me in this scenario. And I was just like... I would have called my dad. He was like, I mean, that's tough. She did it, though. She did it. Do what you got to do. Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what my dad would do.
Not saying I just kick her on the street, make her find her own way. I'd take her to the homeless shelter if I needed to.
Yeah.
but I'm not letting you back in.
Yeah. Thanks for joining me with the Comfort Level podcast.
Of course.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Maddie.
guys.
No, you.
Thank you guys
Thank you.
for watching.
No, you are the ones that we are thanking.
Thank you.
It's about you, not us.
Thank you. Yeah.
Not
Thank,
us, you.
Thank you for being here every single week
Every
and
week.
watching.
No, like literally.
Seriously, guys.
No, like
Thanks.
really, honestly, we love you
We love you.
so much.
Love you guys.
Love you guys more.
Yes.
I love you guys more.
But we love you the most, though. That's the one thing.
Yeah, but
right?
I do a little bit more.
Yeah, but like our love is infinite for you.
Yeah.
Mine is infinite.
Times 1,000.
But imagine that times infinity, though.
Imagine that times infinity and
You can
beyond.
stop talking now.
No.
Love you guys.
No, like we love you.
more. Bye.
Yeah,
Bye.
Bye. Love you.